my name is Jordan, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. First one on the channel, actually. It's very exciting. So most of these books, I'm just going to tell you right now, are mystery thrillers of some sort. I am in a huge mystery thriller kick right now. I've been listening to Morbid, a true crime podcast, in the car and when I'm doing very mind-numbing tasks at work. Just, you know, I've been listening to that and it's been great. And then I've started watching a lot of like crime shows, and I'm into it right now. So you might see a lot of that in the future on this channel. But I'm not steering away from fantasy or anything like that, so don't be afraid. So I do like to read a little bit of everything. So half of these books are from a recent book outlet purchase, and then the other half are mostly book of the month books from the last couple of months and a few other books. So let's waste no time and get started. I'm going to save the book outlet books for last, but yeah. The first book is The Bone Orchard by Sarah A. Mueller. This is an adult fantasy, I believe a standalone. I've actually already read this and I have a review up on my channel if you're interested. This is, well, we follow basically the Emperor's mistress, and she's his mistress by force. She's his captive. She's not there by choice. And she is summoned to his bedside when he is like on his deathbed, and he tasks her with finding his killer, his murderer, because he believes he's been poisoned, he's dying, he's on his deathbed, and he wants her to find out who it is. He believes it to be one of his sons, and so he wants her to basically prevent any of his sons from becoming the next emperor as much as she can, and she kind of has no choice in this matter, like, despite him dying, like, what role is she gonna have after he's gone? But she has no choice, really, because there are these things in this world called mind locks that, I don't know, they're kind of these devices on one's temple where basically it's kind of like mind control, or she has to do what he says, basically. So she's stuck with this until she sees it through. So that's this book. I've already read it. I did very much enjoy it. Then I have Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. This book is all over booktube, TikTok, all the social medias, Instagram, whatever. I don't even really know that much about it, but there's just been a lot of hype around it. The cover is gorgeous. It's an adult fantasy. I believe it has something to do with a moon goddess. I think it's like based off of some sort of mythology. I don't really know, but I am excited. I've heard amazing things about it, so I had to pick this one up. We got A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreight. In this book, we follow a girl who is a lawyer, I believe, and she gets a call from an old friend from prison. He has been accused of murdering his wife, and so she takes up his case, tries to help him, and as she's, you know, following this case, she's realizing that she maybe doesn't know as much about them as she thought she did. So, sounds interesting. Then we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James, I believe. And this it follows a girl. I believe it's a woman. Yes. She runs a true crime website. And I think she ends up getting an interview with a woman from like a very famous cold case or something, and I believe she might have even been like the prime suspect, but she was never actually found guilty. I think, I'm not sure, but it sounded very interesting, so I decided to pick it up. I'm really excited to get to this one because I actually just watched a review on it and it just made me even more excited for it. Apparently there are also some like paranormal elements to this as well, which is kind of intriguing, so I'm ready for a little spooky read. And I have The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This book is about a couple, and the woman ends up cheating, and they have a young son together, so for his sake they decide to go to therapy. But the therapist they go to see actually lost her license, so she's kind of doing this, you know, not legally. And so that's all I honestly know. And I'm sure we'll find out more secrets in all their lives. I'm sure it'll all connect in some crazy way. I don't know. I don't know, for some reason couples, marriages always intrigue me. Maybe it's because I'm getting married, I don't know. And then the last book from Book of the Month is I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys. This is YA historical fiction. It takes place in Romania in 1989, and we follow a 17-year-old Christian who, he's blackmailed by the secret police to become an informer. He's left with only two choices: betray everyone and everything he loves, or use his position to creatively undermine the most notoriously evil dictator in Eastern Europe. Sounds very interesting. I have read a few books by this author before, and I really enjoy them. She makes amazing historical fiction books, and yeah, I'm excited about this one. Okay, now on to the books from Book Outlet. This is my first Book Outlet purchase in a really long time, like over a year or something like that. And actually what's even more exciting about this Book Outlet purchase is, so you know what Book Outlet has their like rewards or point system, and this purchase puts me at like the highest coupon. So, or because every time you buy books you get so many points. Once you get so many points you unlock various coupons, and if you don't spend them you accrue more points, and more points the bigger the coupon. Well, the biggest coupon is like $20 off, and I'm pretty sure this purchase just put me at that point, so my next purchase I get $20 off. So exciting. But anyways, let's get into the books. The rest of these are for sure all thrillers. So first one I have is I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. Alice Feeney is kind of a popular one. I've seen her kind of all over the place. Haven't read any of her books yet, but we're gonna give it a try. So this is about a woman. Her husband goes missing, and she becomes like the prime suspect, or they at least think that she's hiding something, which apparently she is, but maybe not what we think it is. But she thinks that maybe the person who did kidnap her husband found out her secret or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then I also got a second book by Alice Feeney, and that is His and Hers. This says, when a woman is murdered in Blackdown, newsreader Anna Andrews is reluctant to cover the case. Detective Jack Harper is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. I don't know, it doesn't really say much about That seemed very vague. I feel like before I made this, I like looked up the synopsis on Goodreads, and it sounded more interesting than that, but... Then I have Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinbrough. I believe this is a pretty popular book, at least from like a few years ago that I still haven't read. But so we follow a woman who, I guess like at the start of this book or something, she meets a man in a bar and they share a kiss. And then like the next day, she discovers that this guy is her new boss at work. But then she also happens to meet this woman, and then she finds out that this woman is this guy's wife, her new boss's wife, and she kind of gets like, I don't know, sucked into their lives somehow, and the more she spends time with them, the more she realizes that something is very off with these two, apparently. Sounds interesting. Another one of those couple marriage situations that, I don't know, something about that just always intrigues me. It's just a good setup. Then we have Every Last Fear by Alex Finlay. This is, I don't even know. So this follows a guy who, I think he's like in college, and he comes home one night and finds out that like his entire family has been killed in like this horrible gas leak accident or something. Or at least that's what the local police claim, but I guess like FBI aren't so certain. But then there's also like a ton of attention around this, because this isn't the first time something crazy has happened to this family. Apparently, our main character's oldest brother is in prison for the murder of his girlfriend. Now, I believe some people think his brother is innocent, and I think there was like a whole documentary on it. But apparently, our main character knows something or saw something that makes him think that his brother is guilty. I don't know, there just seems like there's a lot going on, and maybe there's just a lot that we don't know, and it just sounded really interesting. Then we have Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I believe this is pretty popular, I believe this also follows another couple. So yeah, this is supposed to be like, from the outside this couple seems like the perfect couple, but it's difficult because you realize Jack and Grace are inseparable. Some might call this true love. Others might wonder why Grace never answers the phone or why she can never meet for coffee even though she doesn't work. How can she cook such elaborate meals but remain so slim, or why she never seems to take anything with her when she leaves the house, not even a pen, or why there are such high security metal shutters on all the downstairs windows. That right there is a warning sign. Can you imagine? Like, what would anyone think if they saw metal shutters on their neighbor's windows? I'd be like, 911? I mean, there's nothing they can do. Metal shutters aren't proof that you're holding someone against their will, but I mean, who does that? I don't know. I'm very excited about this one. And then finally, the last book in this haul is Chevy Stevens. No, that's the author. Dark Roads by Chevy Stevens. This book is what started this whole book haul purchase. So I actually saw a post, I believe on Instagram, where someone was raving about Chevy Stevens books, saying that they love them all and they will always recommend them or something. And then I was in Target one day and I saw this book on the shelf and I recognized the author. So I picked it up and I read the inside flap and I was like, ooh, this does sound interesting. But it was like 19-20 bucks still, even at their like discounted price at Target. And I'm like, I really don't want to spend 20 bucks right now on a book, especially a mystery that I'm probably going to devour in a day or two. So I went on Amazon. I was like, oh, well, it's 14 bucks on Amazon. And then I somehow decided that afternoon when I got home to look up mystery thrillers on Book Outlet, saw that this was on. I'm like, well, perfect. It's like $2 cheaper than Amazon or something. So, I mean, I still spent like 12 bucks on this thing, I think. I don't remember. But, and then I just proceeded to fill my cart with even more mystery thrillers because there's tons of them on there. I could have bought way more, but yeah. So this book is probably one of my next reads, and between Behind Closed Doors and Dark Roads, these are the ones I'm the most excited to get to. Actually, I still need to tell you what this one's about. So this is about Cold Creek Highway. It stretches for 500 miles through rugged wilderness, and a bunch of women over the years have gone missing along this highway. And then one of our main characters is a woman who isn't very happy with her life for various reasons, and so she decides to just go off into the wilderness, and people think that she's just another victim of the endless missing women along this highway. But then we fast forward a year and we follow Beth, and she goes to Cold Creek where her sister Amber lived and where she was murdered because she's trying to get closure for her sister's death. And somehow these two characters' lives, stories intertwine. I don't know. It just sounded really dark and like, honestly, it sounds like a good winter read for something. Cold Creek Highway, that just sounds, I don't know. But, so, it sounded good. I'm really excited to read this one as well as the last one, Behind Closed Doors. All of these I'm excited to read, but I'm just in the thriller mystery mood. So if you have read any of these books or you think any of these books are interesting, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got for this video. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.